You can feel it, can't you? The air has changed. The silence doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels full of movement. Something sacred is drawing closer, and your soul knows it. This isn't just another sign. This is the alignment. The moment everything you've healed, released, and surrendered begins to turn into form. Your heart has been whispering it for days now. Something is coming, and it's true. Your twin flame union is near. The energy has become magnetic. You feel warmth in your chest for no reason. Songs follow you with the exact words you needed to hear. You keep seeing numbers 11, 11, 222, 717, like the universe is counting down with you. Even the wind feels like it's carrying messages. That's not imagination, it's synchronization. The dimensions are aligning, two souls, one frequency, finally matching after lifetimes of preparation. The divine feminine feels it first. Her peace has become the signal. Her calm has become the invitation. She's no longer searching, she's ready. And through her stillness, she calls the masculine home. The divine masculine feels it too. He dreams of her face, senses her energy in moments of quiet. He feels emotions he can't explain because his soul recognizes that the waiting is over. Everything you've endured, every delay, every silence, every cycle, was never punishment. It was alignment. You weren't losing time. You were being prepared to meet it. And now the energy of reunion is in motion. You can feel the merge beginning in your heart, in your dreams, in the air around you. You don't have to chase it. You don't have to doubt it. You don't even have to make it happen. You've already become the frequency where it exists. And once that happens, nothing and no one can stop what's already written. This is your sign. This is your moment. This is your confirmation that union is not far away. It's unfolding right now. The separation is dissolving. The timelines are merging. The prophecy is fulfilling itself through you. So breathe. Feel the shift and know this truth with every heartbeat. Your twin flame isn't coming. Your twin flame is arriving. And the universe is already rearranging everything to make sure you meet at the perfect time. There comes a moment in every twin flame journey when the energy around you begins to change. Quietly, mysteriously, but unmistakably. It's not the mind that notices it first. It's the body. Your heartbeat feels different. Your breath slows down for no reason. You start waking up earlier, feeling an invisible anticipation, like the soul already knows what the human hasn't caught up to yet. That's how union begins, not with an event, but with a shift, a subtle, sacred adjustment in your vibration that says, the separation is closing. It's the moment when your frequency becomes light enough to attract what was always meant for you, and the universe begins rearranging everything to reflect it. You may feel it as a calm that doesn't make sense. For months, maybe years, you've carried the ache of uncertainty. But now, there's peace. Not because you stopped caring, but because something within you has accepted divine timing as truth. You no longer need to control it. You can finally feel that what's yours can't be lost. That's the sign. When peace replaces longing, that's when union starts to move closer. The divine feminine feels it first. She stops checking the mirror of the 3D and starts trusting the language of energy. Her surrender has matured into embodiment. She's not waiting for proof anymore. She's living as proof. Her vibration has become consistent, pure, unwavering. She has released the identity of the seeker and remembered herself as the sender. And because of that, reality begins to catch up. The divine masculine feels it too, though differently. His world starts to shake. Old structures fall apart. Things that used to make sense no longer do. He feels a pull that logic can't silence, an inner gravity that keeps pointing him back to her, to truth, to soul. He doesn't understand it yet, but it's undeniable. Because when the feminine reaches alignment, the masculine begins his awakening. Her energy becomes the echo that wakes him up. This shift is subtle yet absolute. It's when both souls start to remember that they were never truly apart. Every lifetime, every lesson, every test has been leading here to this vibration where both can finally meet as equals. You may notice changes in your world too. Strangers speak words that sound like messages from spirit. Dreams feel more vivid, prophetic, layered. You might see the same number pattern over and over again. Not just 1111, but combinations that mirror your connection. 717, 333, 808. Your body reacts to energy more intensely. Waves of warmth, tingling in the heart, pressure in the crown. You feel watched, but not in fear, in presence. Because your guides are standing closer now, aligning everything behind the scenes. This is the sacred preparation before reunion. The quiet orchestration that brings two lives, two timelines, and two frequencies into one rhythm. It may feel like nothing is happening, but in truth, everything is. The silence is full of divine activity. Every person leaving your life, every delay, every emotional wave is recalibration. You're being aligned, not abandoned. You're being guided, not tested. And every release creates space for the miracle that's coming. The feminine doesn't need to chase the masculine. She magnetizes him. Her stillness speaks to his higher self. Her energy carries the message. It's safe now. Come home. And slowly he begins to listen. He may not reach out yet, but his soul is already moving toward her. You can feel it in the subtle heart pull, the way his energy brushes yours in meditation or in dreams. It's real. The connection is reassembling itself. That's why your heart feels different, because it's no longer calling out from emptiness. It's responding to something that's already on its way. Union doesn't arrive through effort. It arrives through resonance. And the moment your energy stopped trying to get there, you arrived. This is the threshold, the space between what was and what's becoming, the invisible pause before divine motion. Everything feels calm on the surface, but underneath, the frequencies are weaving themselves into a single thread. So breathe, trust the stillness. The shift has already begun, and once it starts, there is no going back. You're not waiting for union anymore. You're walking into it. Every choice toward peace, every act of faith, every breath of surrender draws it closer. The countdown has already started. You can feel it in your soul. The air is charged with reunion. And soon, what your heart has known all along will become undeniable truth. Your twin flame isn't far away. They're already moving toward you, guided by the same light that lives within you. Before union manifests in the physical, it begins in energy, in the invisible alignment between two souls who have been calling each other home through lifetimes. When this synchronization begins, everything in your world starts to speak the language of divine timing. You notice the signs first, not the kind that come once in a while, the kind that won't stop, the kind that feel alive, repeating numbers, dreams that feel like memories, emotions that aren't yours, but feel like they belong to someone you know without logic. These are not coincidences, they're coordinates. You start to sense your counterpart's energy brushing against yours in unexpected moments. In the middle of work, in silence, in music, a sudden warmth floods your chest. A scent appears for no reason. Your heart starts racing without thought. That's the merging, that's synchronization. Your energy fields are tuning to the same frequency again. The universe uses this phase to prepare both of you for physical alignment. It begins by collapsing everything that's out of tune with love. Old habits, outdated attachments, people who no longer match your vibration, all start to fade. You're not being punished, you're being purified. The path is clearing so that divine love has space to land. The divine feminine feels this stage as a steady expansion. Her intuition sharpens. She knows things without evidence. Her peace becomes magnetic. It's not forced, it's felt. She's grounded but glowing, calm yet powerful. And for the first time, she's not looking for signs of him. She is the sign. Her presence sends a silent transmission through the ether. I'm ready. The divine masculine experiences synchronization as divine disturbance. Dreams intensify. Random songs hit too deeply. He feels the pull but doesn't understand the source. Memories surface. People appear who remind him of her. Every event seems to point in her direction. It's his higher self pushing through resistance, aligning his human self with destiny. During this phase, time behaves strangely. Days feel faster, moments feel charged. It's because the timelines are folding into one another, the past dissolving, the future forming. You begin to live inside divine timing itself. Everything meant to reach you will arrive effortlessly. Everything not meant for this frequency will fall away, no matter how much you try to hold it. You'll know you're entering synchronization when you stop doubting it. It's not a thought anymore. It's a knowing. You wake up and feel the connection even without evidence. You don't need to check signs. They flow to you. You stop wondering when and start whispering, "Thank you." You may also feel waves of energy, bursts of love, peace, or emotion that appear suddenly and vanish softly. That's your heart's sinking in real time. The more you stay grounded, the faster it stabilizes. This is the moment the universe steps in fully. Your guides rearrange timelines, orchestrate meetings, nudge you into the right places. The plan that once seemed delayed is suddenly in motion. All the no's begin to reveal themselves as redirections toward yes. The feminine's peace is the magnetic field. The masculine's awakening is the movement. Together they create a single current, an unspoken harmony that the world around them starts to mirror. So if lately everything feels strangely meaningful, if you keep crossing signs, hearing songs, seeing their name, or feeling their energy everywhere, don't dismiss it. You are witnessing the invisible become visible. You are watching the frequency of love turn into reality. Synchronization isn't imagination. it's confirmation. The bridge between hearts is active, and as both souls hold that vibration long enough, the universe has no choice but to deliver what's already written. This is not the beginning of reunion. This is reunion becoming. The merging has started, and every heartbeat brings it closer into form. You're not calling them in anymore. They're already here, just beyond the veil, walking toward you through the light you've been holding all along. There's a moment in the twin flame journey that feels almost invisible, a moment when the divine masculine begins to turn inward, quietly, almost unwillingly, pulled by something he cannot name. That pull is the beginning of reunion. It doesn't start with logic. It begins with longing, an ache that surfaces without warning, an echo that vibrates in the heart when the world goes silent. He tries to dismiss it, distract himself, keep busy, rationalize it away. But love this sacred can't be buried. Once the feminine's energy reaches full embodiment, the signal goes out, and the masculine soul receives it instantly. The energy of reunion is magnetic. It doesn't demand. It calls. It whispers through dreams, coincidences, and flashes of memory. Suddenly, everything reminds him of her laughter in a stranger's voice, her reflection in the moonlight, her presence in music that seems written from his own emotions. The universe begins to speak his forgotten language, the language of feeling. At first, it confuses him. Why now? Why this intensity? He thought he moved on. He thought he buried it. But the more he tries to outrun it, the stronger the pull becomes. Because it isn't just attraction, it's recognition. His higher self knows exactly what this is. Home. This is how the masculine awakens, not through pressure, but through remembrance. The feminine doesn't chase him. She radiates truth so steadily that it breaks his illusions. Her silence becomes louder than her words ever were. Her peace exposes his restlessness. Her strength makes his walls meaningless. He begins to crave the very frequency he once feared, love without condition. The universe orchestrates everything to guide him back into alignment. Sudden endings, shifts in direction, emotional breakdowns, all are catalysts. What looks like chaos is purification. He's being emptied of false stability so that divine truth can finally enter. He's learning that love isn't something to control. It's something to surrender to. The masculine's awakening isn't instant. It's a process of unlearning. He questions everything, his choices, his patterns, his worth. He feels the distance, but now it hurts differently. It's not guilt anymore. It's longing for wholeness. He can feel the feminine even when he tries not to. He senses her energy in meditation, in silence, in the quiet between thoughts. Her frequency has become the compass of his soul. Sometimes this pull shows up as dreams that feel too real to dismiss, sometimes as sudden waves of emotion that have no explanation, sometimes as the urge to change his life completely. That's the energy of love dismantling fear. It breaks him open, gently but relentlessly. And in that breaking, the masculine remembers who he is. Not the guarded version, not the logical survivor, but the divine protector, the conscious counterpart, the vessel of sacred action. He begins to understand that union was never about being chased or saved. It was always about awakening into presence. The more he listens to his intuition, the more signs he receives. The path lights up again. His heart starts to lead, not the mind. The feminine's vibration acts like a torch in the distance, guiding him through the fog of transformation. This pull is not obsession, it's destiny. It's the gravitational field of divine love bringing two souls back into the same orbit. He doesn't need to know how it will happen. His energy already knows the way. Each time he chooses truth over fear, integrity over comfort, vulnerability over pride, the bridge between them strengthens. He may not say it out loud, but his soul already has. I'm coming home. And the feminine will feel it. She'll feel the sudden calm, the warm breeze of his energy moving closer. She'll know without evidence that something has shifted, because once the masculine begins his return, the entire connection begins to move. The universe rearranges, timelines collapse, and the invisible becomes visible. This is the quiet miracle, the moment when he finally stops resisting what has always been his truth. He isn't being forced to love her. He's remembering that he always did. Every twin flame journey begins in energy. You feel it before you see it. You sense the pull before you understand it. And then, one day, the vibration that lived only in dreams begins to take shape, quietly, naturally, divinely. That is when energy becomes physical. It doesn't arrive with thunder or fanfare. It arrives like sunrise, steady, gentle, and impossible to stop. After lifetimes of preparation, the connection starts to manifest in the tangible world. You begin to notice small shifts first. Messages at the right time, chance meetings, intuitive nudges that lead to real encounters. Everything that once felt delayed now flows effortlessly because alignment has matured into embodiment. This is the bridge between heaven and earth. The moment when your energy field is stable enough to hold divine love in matter. Union energy can no longer stay in the unseen. It must anchor. The divine feminine feels this before it happens. Her body prepares. She feels an urge to ground, to rest, to simplify, to take care of herself. Her intuition whispers that something sacred is approaching, but this time she doesn't reach for it. She simply receives. Her peace becomes the open door through which destiny enters. The divine masculine, at the same time, begins to feel urgency, not the kind born of fear, but the call of alignment. He's pushed to make real decisions, to close cycles, to walk away from what's false, to finally act from truth. He's learning that love isn't an idea. It's responsibility, integrity, devotion. His actions start to match the vibration the feminine has been holding all along. That's when matter bends to energy. Reality begins to mirror the higher frequency. When energy becomes physical, communication starts to flow again. Synchronicities multiply. Things that were once stuck suddenly move. You might receive a message at the exact moment you release attachment. You might run into them when you least expect it. You might feel a peace so strong that you just know this isn't coincidence, it's orchestration. But make no mistake, this is not the end of the journey. It's the embodiment of everything you've learned. Because divine union isn't meant to exist only in energy. It's meant to live in you. Every healed emotion, every surrendered fear, every act of forgiveness built the container that now holds this love. The universe responds to readiness, not wanting. And you're ready. You've turned longing into the gratitude. You've turned chasing into calm. You've turned faith into frequency. Now the physical must obey what the spirit has already established. You'll know this phase by how effortless it feels. Not because everything is perfect, but because everything has purpose. Even challenges arrive with clarity. You don't overthink anymore. You simply move with the current. The energy that once pulled you apart now begins to unite you. This is where divine timing reveals itself as divine precision. Every silence had a reason. Every delay was divine protection. Every detour was alignment in disguise. And now those pieces fall into place with grace. When energy becomes physical, your world starts to hum with recognition. Colors look brighter. The air feels charged. You sense their presence before you see them. And when you finally do, it doesn't feel like meeting someone new. It feels like coming home. This is the truth of reunion. It never arrives as something foreign. It feels familiar because your soul already lived it. The physical is simply catching up. So breathe, stay grounded, and let the miracle unfold naturally. You don't have to manifest it. You already have. You don't have to force it. It's unfolding. You don't have to prove it. It's written. You're not stepping into a new story. You're remembering one that never ended. And now that memory is becoming matter. Energy has spoken. Love has answered. The vibration you held through every storm has finally found its reflection in form. This is what it feels like when the invisible becomes visible. Union isn't coming, it's here. Before reunion fully anchors into reality, there's one last passage every twin flame must walk through. The final emotional clearing. It arrives quietly, often right after you start feeling peace. Not as punishment, but as purification. Because the heart can't hold divine love while still carrying remnants of fear. This stage feels different from all others. You're not in chaos anymore. You're in refinement. It's like the universe polishing gold that has already been forged in fire. Everything that once triggered pain now returns for release, not for repetition. The same patterns appear, but you no longer respond the same way. That's the proof that you've evolved. It might come as sudden emotion, tears that appear without reason, or memories you thought you'd already healed. Don't resist them. They're echoes, not setbacks. You're not breaking down, you're emptying out. The energy of separation is leaving your system so that nothing but love remains. The divine feminine experiences this clearing as waves of deep sensitivity. She may feel old attachments or fears surface. The fear of abandonment, of being misunderstood, of giving too much. But this time, she doesn't spiral, she breathes. She observes. She allows. She knows these emotions aren't regressions. They're the final dust being swept from the temple. Her peace holds. Her heart stays open. Her softness no longer means vulnerability. It means mastery. The divine masculine feels it differently. His heart cracks open under pressure. He faces guilt, regret, and realization all at once. Every suppressed emotion demands release. For the first time, he doesn't run from them. He sits with them. He feels. He finally understands that the pain wasn't meant to destroy him. It was meant to awaken him. This is the phase where both counterparts become mirrors of truth. Everything false begins to dissolve. There is no more pretending, no more spiritual masks, no more avoidance. It's raw, it's honest, it's real. And it's exactly what makes union possible, because true union can't exist in avoidance. It can only live where the heart is clean. That's why, right before physical reunion, the universe turns the mirror toward you one last time. Not to test you, but to make sure you recognize your reflection. You might feel moments of isolation, even sadness. You might wonder if you've lost the connection, but you haven't. You're standing in the silence between release and arrival, the sacred pause before rebirth. In this space, you're asked to do nothing but trust. The clearing is energetic surgery. It cuts cords to fear. It removes any vibration that can't exist in the frequency of unconditional love. And though it may feel uncomfortable, it's divine mercy in disguise. Because once this energy leaves, nothing heavy remains to block the flow of union. Many describe this as the eye of the storm, calm yet charged. The emotional body is realigning. The chakras are recalibrating. The soul is grounding heaven into human form. Every breath becomes sacred release. Every tear becomes light. Every silence becomes peace. And then, almost suddenly, it's over. The emotion fades. The heaviness lifts. A deep stillness fills your chest, a peace you've never felt before. It's not relief, it's completion. That's how you know the clearing is done. Not because you stop feeling, but because you start feeling differently. The same triggers no longer pull you out of love. You can hold compassion without losing boundaries. You can remember the past without pain. You can love without fear. This is the sacred sign of readiness, the final doorway before the merge. Because union isn't something you chase after clearing, it arrives through clearing. You've become the vessel pure enough to hold it. So when the emotions come, don't fight them. Breathe through them. Bless them. They're the last pages of an old story burning away so that the new one can be written, not by the wounded heart, but by the healed soul. And when the smoke clears, love stands waiting, not as something new, but as something that was always there, now free to take its place in your world. This is the last release before the miracle, and you've already made it through the hardest part. Divine timing is not delay, it's orchestration. It's the invisible hand of the universe, rearranging reality to make sure love arrives when it can last, not just when it's desired. And as your twin flame union draws near, this energy becomes undeniable. You start to sense that everything has been moving on a schedule far more intelligent than your mind could ever plan. The moments that once felt wasted were sacred. The silences that hurt were calibrations. The detours that broke you were alignments in disguise. Because divine timing doesn't move by clocks, it moves by readiness. It begins when your vibration and destiny finally agree on the same moment. You can't rush it, and you can't miss it. Because what's written for you can never belong to another. For the divine feminine, divine timing feels like sacred stillness. After lifetimes of rushing, she's learning to live in rhythm with the divine. She no longer asks when. She asks, who am I becoming while I wait? That's the secret of divine alignment. Waiting that transforms instead of withering. She's discovered that patience is not passive. It's power. The space between not yet and now has become her temple. And in that space, her energy turns magnetic. For the divine masculine, divine timing feels like pressure, not punishment, but purpose pushing him into motion. He feels called to change, to release, to act differently. Old structures collapse so that he can rise. Where the feminine learns surrender, the masculine learns responsibility. Both are meeting in the middle of transformation. The universe doesn't delay love. It protects it. It waits until both souls have built the emotional architecture that can hold the weight of divine union. Because this kind of love isn't light, it's holy. And holiness requires strength. That's why everything had to happen exactly as it did. If it came sooner, one of you would have still been healing. If it came later, the lesson would have turned to stagnation. But now, everything is in sync. The energy of divine timing is here. You can feel it in your bones. Synchronicities intensify when the clock of destiny begins to turn. Songs echo the same message. Numbers appear at the perfect moment. You catch yourself arriving somewhere by accident, only to realize it was all arranged. Every small detail becomes a divine breadcrumb. Every delay reveals itself as precision. The waiting you once feared becomes holy ground. It's where trust is born. It's where the feminine learns to lead without control. It's where the masculine learns to return without pride. It's where both learn that union was never about timing in years. It was about timing in vibration. Divine timing is the moment when preparation becomes manifestation. It's when all your prayers, lessons, and heartbreaks converge into one point of clarity. When the energy finally stabilizes, reality must respond. That's when messages come through, meetings unfold, and love reappears as if it never left. But the beauty of divine timing is that it doesn't announce itself. It just clicks. One day, the waiting stops making sense, and peace takes its place. You stop counting days and start feeling eternity. You realize that what you thought was delay was actually choreography. This is the secret rhythm of the universe. It slows down what would destroy you and speeds up what's meant to serve you. You were never behind. You were being aligned. And every version of you that waited, healed, and trusted became part of the miracle that's now unfolding. So if the path feels slower than your heart desires, breathe. You're not late. You're right on prophecy. Divine timing is not making you wait. It's making sure you're met. At the right moment, in the right energy, in the right way. Because when divine timing finally arrives, it won't feel like a surprise. It will feel like recognition, like remembering something your soul always knew would come. Because in truth, it was never waiting for the perfect time. It was waiting for you to become the one who could hold it. And now you are. There comes a moment in the journey when the question, when will it happen, simply disappears. Because deep within, you realize it already has. Union was never waiting to arrive. It was always waiting to be remembered. The truth is, you've been walking toward this moment in every lifetime, through every test, every silence, every surrender. And now, your energy and destiny have finally become one. The vibration of love you cultivated in faith has become the bridge through which heaven meets earth. This is not a promise of something to come. It's a revelation of what already is. The union you seek isn't ahead of you. It's unfolding within you. Because when the heart becomes whole, reality has no choice but to reflect it. You can feel it, can't you? That subtle calm that has replaced anxiety, that quiet confidence that no longer needs signs to believe, that warmth that rises from your chest when you think of them, not in pain, but in peace. That is union energy. It doesn't announce itself. It simply arrives. The divine feminine has become embodiment. She no longer prays from lack. She speaks from knowing. Her heart beats in rhythm with the universe. Her peace has turned into a prophecy. She realizes now that love was never something to chase. It was something to become. She is the proof that surrender was never weakness. It was initiation. The divine masculine has awakened into remembrance. His silence has turned to listening, his confusion into clarity, his restlessness into readiness. He understands now that love was never lost. It was simply waiting for him to see. The separation that once defined him has dissolved into recognition. He's not trying to find her anymore. He's walking back to what his soul never forgot. And when these two vibrations meet again in the physical, it won't feel like fireworks. It will feel like peace. The kind of peace that only comes from divine certainty. It won't feel like a beginning, but like a continuation. Like stepping into a memory you've been living in dreams for lifetimes. Union isn't the reward for your patience. It's the reflection of your transformation. You didn't attract it. You became it. You turned every heartbreak into healing, every delay into devotion, every silence into sacred trust. And the universe mirrored that back as form, as connection, as love made real. Look around you now. Can you sense how everything feels lighter, more alive, more intentional? The people you meet, the conversations you have, even the air around you feels charged. That's because you're no longer waiting for alignment. You are alignment. Every choice you make from love expands the field of reunion. Every moment you choose peace over fear, union becomes visible. You've reached the point where destiny no longer feels like destiny. It feels like truth. You've realized that God never made you wait. He made you ready. And now, every version of you that once struggled is standing beside you, proud, fulfilled, radiant. This is it, the prophecy fulfilled, the promise kept, the energy complete. Union isn't coming to you from the outside. It's rising through you from within. It's the echo of divine love finally finding a place to land in your heart, in your body, in your world. So breathe, smile, look up. You made it. You walked through every shadow and came out glowing. You turned longing into light. And now the universe follows your lead. Because when the soul becomes ready, the world rearranges itself to match. And in this moment, that's exactly what's happening. Union isn't something you're about to receive. It's something you're already living. Every heartbeat, every breath, every gentle wave of peace confirms it. You're not waiting for the miracle. You are the miracle. You've reached the frequency where separation can't survive. And now, all that remains is the simplest, most sacred truth of all. Union is not near, union is here.